It is 1:01. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. In Titans news, the team announced earlier this morning that quarterback Will Levis will undergo shoulder surgery on his throwing shoulder tomorrow and will be sidelined for the entirety of the 2025 season. Levis injured the shoulder in Week 4 against the Dolphins in 2024. In other Titans news, it is expected that two key Titans will begin training camp on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. Those two Titans are cornerback L'Jarius Sneed as he recovers from the quad injury that kept him out all but 5 games in 2024, and center Lloyd Cushenberry, who tore his Achilles in Week 9 of 2024. In other NFL news, the Chiefs and 2022 first-round pick George Karlaftis have reached agreement today on a 4-year, $93 million contract extension that includes $62 million guaranteed. Karlaftis has posted 24.5 sacks during his first 3 seasons in Kansas City. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Blaine Bishop is back, and I'm sure everybody's happy that there's no more solo shows for me. Yeah. Actually have someone to talk to.
You did all the shows by yourself?
Except for 2. I did the Friday ones. I had Stoney on, but other than that, it was me and
you went by yourself, Jackson.
Well, he's now referred to as the Grand Poobah, Jackson Williams. It's his new title on the show.
Well, what was that? What happened?
He wanted it.
Zach asked me what I would prefer my title to be, and I picked.
So what are you referencing? Why did you pick that?
I thought it was funny. I thought it's fun to say.
That was it?
Yeah. I was pure.
You just always wanted to have a name or a nickname, and that's how you've been waiting all this time.
More like a title. I would like a nameplate with like my name, and then under it just say Grand Poobah. I thought that would be really funny.
Well, I think if you put it on your license plate, then it will be serious.
We'll have to figure out how to put that on there.
I'll work with the DMV on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a custom-made license plate right there, man.
So we call him the Grand Poobah because it got brought up, Joseph on 3HL gets called executive producer, and I'm like, aren't you guys just producers? And they go, well, they just gave me that title. So, there's Big Boss Bert is what they call Bert on Buck. So Big Boss Bert. So I was like, well, Jackson, you can just pick whatever you want. And that's the first thing that came to his head was the Grand Poobah. Okay. So we've been calling him the Grand Poobah all week. We got a lot of football to get to, too. I mean, Tennessee Titans transactions. The NFLPA has undergone a entire transformation since you've been gone, Blaine, and we'll catch everybody up on where they're at with that because the executive director and JC Trader both out, both resigned over the weekend. So it's kind of crazy of how that all worked. We got the SEC Media Days rankings, a lot to get to today because training camp's on the horizon for the Tennessee Titans. But we have to start off with Will Levis has decided that he is going to get shoulder-ending surgery after trying to work through it through the offseason.
Shoulder ending?
Oh, sorry. Season-ending shoulder surgery. There we go. And
shoulder ending sounds much more serious.
He's been waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah. It could be shoulder ending because this is like the Grand Poobah over there. This could be shoulder ending, because this is going to be a surgery on an AC joint that he's re-injured now on his right shoulder 3 different times. He's also had one on his left. So he's had 4 AC joint sprains, throughout his career. But he is gone for the entire season. I find the timing to be interesting, Blaine, but initial instincts, because something that we have talked about Will Levis is how he's the best backup quarterback option on this team. And whether you trade him or not, you have to find someone better than really Brandon Allen or Tim Boyle. But it looks like right now, they could still have time to bring someone in. Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle, step right on up into the backup spot. What are your thoughts on this whole Will Levis shoulder injury?
Was Brendan Allen, I wanted to ask you this first. Was Brendan Allen actually the backup at the Bengals?
It was a real weird
with the
year.
49ers?
He ended up being the backup due to other people getting injured, which...
What? No, he means he was the third quarterback.
The quarterback
and when I watch him in practice, that's what I look at.
Yeah.
And that's what I see. And so if it was me, I would want someone with some credence in this league and some experience as having success. But I'm sure Coach Callaghan, head coach, thinks he's capable because of his, relationship with them. But it's one thing that you have to do when you're in the National Football League, when you're a coach, is you got to understand your relationships and then how they can fail you at the same time, whether you're hiring coaches, signing players that you've worked with before because you want to be with a comfort level. That's why Vrabel always hired coaches he knew and trusted. That's where that happens, and as well as with coaches, with players. I just don't know if he's a backup in this league. That makes me a little uncomfortable. Just for me going into the season, I felt like Bull is a little more talented, but he doesn't probably know the offense as well as Allen. But I would try to go for an upgrade. If somebody's available, they may try to go young. I still would want somebody in the middle of the road, a proven backup in this league. I would want some form of a veteran as a backup. And I am not talking about Flacco age. I'm talking about somebody who's been in this league and they don't have to have been just like kind of Mason Rudolph type player, maybe even further along, 8 years or so. So with that being said, now on the Will Levis front here, I don't find it. I know I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter from even former players. Just people commented about the timing. Look, I'm going to give you an example. I had a knee injury after the season, and they knew it. I played through it the season. So here's what happens. So during the season, I get scoped on my knee. It was a torn meniscus. So how long do you think that takes you during the season? It was in the middle of the season, 6 weeks. Well, we just, okay. Yeah. 4 to 6 weeks is type of damage. Okay. I get scoped on Monday. How many games do you think I missed?
0.
Yeah, I did. Didn't miss 0. 4 to 6 weeks injury.
Okay.
Right.
So you didn't miss 4 to 6.
Didn't miss any weeks.
Oh, you didn't miss any
No,
weeks.
I didn't miss any.
Yeah.
I didn't miss any games. Right? Okay. But the key, I'm talking about it was like week 6 or 8.
Yeah.
Oh, when the season's over, another issue with my knee. Because I played when it wasn't actually healed. So that took a process in the summer time that, I need another scope. So I got the scope in the summertime, but, didn't miss any training camp or anything. But those things happen. So what I'm bringing up, the issue is sometimes players have options. You need surgery, but you probably can play through it and you're probably okay for long term. And then you realize after throwing a lot, let's say with Levis, I also had that same injury as well, but I'm not a quarterback. So I'm not throwing, not on my throwing arm.
Right.
I said this when he said, so all those people said he was lying about his shoulder. I said, hey, man, I had that. I don't know how quickly you can come back from that if you're throwing.
Yeah.
So sometimes you think you can go through it, play through it. He probably got advice. You could probably fix it and be fine or leave it alone and probably can manage through it. But he may have thought or someone convinced him with a second opinion, not maybe by the Titans or just another doctor, saying, hey, man, knowing his whole situation, could have been his agent. Like, hey, man, when you're not with the Titans, let's say in a year or two, whenever that may be, this can come up and you flunk a physical and they may not trade for you or sign you. So you're better off probably getting it fixed, regardless if you think you can play through it or not. See? And so then you start sitting back saying, well, dang, this is going to hurt me long term. If I'm fighting for a team I know I'm not going to be playing for long term. So I think that's what happened. And I don't have any remorse or I don't think the timing. I think he realized, and it could have even got tweaked, like while he was throwing in the offseason, while he was, throwing to guys, whoever he was throwing to when he was working out. And it kind of got inflamed and goes, well, dang, I thought this thing wouldn't be bothering me. So those things can happen. It does sound odd that it took, but I've seen it happen numerous times by numerous players and not even quarterbacks. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that's what happens, because that's happened before to numerous players.
Well, I mean, it's probably,
because you always go, why couldn't they fix it? They had the whole offseason.
Yeah, because I think that's probably one of the things. I mean, even if you would have gotten it in June, or because it's July, I guess even if you would have gotten in May, you're probably still out for the whole season. Your season's over. Now, could you have done it probably back in October when the injury first happened on Monday Night Football? Sure, maybe. But how many times, you gave an example just a few minutes ago, we've seen players play through injury.
Mm-hmm.
And
he played through this injury, by the way.
He played through the injury. And, things like this pop up all the time. And I would also say, based on what you were kind of talking about, when you were talking, it kind of popped in my head. All the reps that everybody was complaining about that he was taking in training camp or in OTAs and mandatory minicamp and all that probably started adding up. And probably things got harder and harder for him as it went on, coupled with what he was probably doing workout-wise with Jordan Palmer and all these other things. I personally think that it can be a little conspiracy theory for people to say, well, he did this because he knew he wasn't getting traded. He did this because he knew he wasn't getting quarterback one.
Well, maybe this is why he didn't get traded, because maybe he wouldn't have passed the physical.
Maybe. I mean, right? This is a distinct possibility. We don't know. I have a hard time believing the malicious intent side of this thing, because I don't think that's really what it is. But I do think that there came to a point where he went to it got tougher and tougher as the summer went on. He went and got his diagnosis from a second opinion, got that second opinion, said, this is probably what's best for my career. And I don't think the Titans found out today. Right, I think the Titans knew for probably about a week or 2 weeks. I think
it could have been one of those things. You don't need it if it's not bothering you. Don't get it, and then all of a sudden it started bothering. To your example, then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, obviously it is bothering me enough for I should get the surgery." And it's probably not a whole season of being missing. It's just that it probably is going to take 6 to 8 weeks, and they go, "Well, shoot, we're already into our season. We're talking about a quarterback. You're probably not going to play. You're probably IR'd all season." Right. That's kind of what happened.
To me, it just doesn't feel. I know everybody needs that angle for this topic, but I think that this is just probably Occam's razor. The obvious choice is the actual choice, and to me, it's just like, look. I also am kind of looking at this from the human perspective as someone who has not been in Levis's corner a lot throughout his pro career. I would have to say that this kind of sucks for him. I hate it that this is where his career has taken him, and I think it sucks, and I hope that he recovers well, and I hope that he's not on the shelf for all, going into next year as well for another team or whatever. But this does kind of suck. And I just don't think it's anything. He made this decision solely out as a pouting. He's not pouting. He's not whining. I don't think that's how this decision came about.
And to me, people are saying that, then that's what they would do.
Yeah. That's what it feels like to me.
Not knowing the totality, like how this thing actually works. When you start questioning players, like he's a competitor. He believes that he could beat out Cam Ward. That's where he's at. And he was going to prove it. And based off what I saw at OTA, there was nothing that showed that Cam Ward's not more talented than him as far as an arm thrower. No, that was not the case. Now, is he a better quarterback? That was yet to be determined. Yeah. And Coach Callahan, even himself, said he improved a lot. So, yeah. He was going to probably have to prove that to other teams, but that time had passed. But it's probably tough for him too. I just think he's that kind of guy, and getting this at the end is not malicious. I don't think he did anything on purpose.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Titans quarterback situation, because you said something like that would be it kind of tells me that that's something that they would end up doing about, whining and crying, then getting a surgery. And that brings me to some of the comments I've gotten about the backup quarterback position on Twitter and about where this fan base's head is actually at regarding the backup quarterback situation. I got a bone to pick with some people. I'm going to get your thoughts on this as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. You can also interact with us on the F&M Bank chat, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. We'd love to hear from you about this Will Levis situation. But Blaine,
Grand Poobah.
We got the Grand Poobah. Can't forget
give us his information on that. What he
can't forget the Grand Poobah.
Yeah.
About Levis?
Yeah, what's your assessment of Levis?
I think, if he had to get the surgery, you have to do what's best for you. Like, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for your career. And if this is what he thought after talking to multiple doctors that was the best for his career, I have no quorums or questions about it. Do it. Go for it.
Why did he take so long?
I think that's subjective. I think that's the subjective part of this, which is maybe what fans have problems with. Why wait? I mean, training camp report day is tomorrow. So I don't, maybe it started bothering him at OTAs. Maybe we'll get more information from Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker tomorrow in their press conference.
Oh, you'll get nothing and like it.
More than likely. But I just think the timing is where the scrutiny could come to play. But at the end of the day, he did what he thought was best for him.
I just think the most logical conclusion about the timing is that he tried to make a go of it, an honest go of it.
Which is very on brand for him.
Yes, right? I mean, that's so on brand for him.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, think about that last year of Kentucky. That last year of Kentucky, he was playing through injuries and all that kind of stuff. Was a thumb injury or something at that point?
And it's not like he was out at OTAs. Like he was practicing fully at OTAs and trying to make a go of it. So I think that is the most likely conclusion that I can draw.
It was his left middle finger got dislocated. Then he also had a left turf toe. And he also had a left non-throwing injury, an AC sprain in his left shoulder, all in 2022, October of 2022. And he played the rest of that year on those injuries. So I think, you're probably just seeing a guy trying to tough it out because he knows that his career, or at least his 2023 or 2024, is not ending up the way he wanted it to. And I'm sure he was looking to have a rebound and put some good stuff on tape in preseason, all that. So I'm sure that's why he kind of went out there and made a go of it. And I think it just became too sore.
Yeah, that was probably, he saw how he was performing, and maybe it wasn't, this is purely speculation, but
you're right.
What he was seeing himself do on the practice field in OTAs maybe wasn't up to the standard he felt like, and his shoulder was still bothering him. And so he made the decision, I'm gonna get this right before I put more bad tape out there and maybe hinder myself from getting another opportunity.
That could be possible. But okay, so I put out there with this news, I said, hey, listen, the Tennessee Titans need to find a backup quarterback if they want to stay afloat in in this season. If, God forbid, Cam Ward goes down. Now, staying afloat doesn't mean that you're going to win every game with this backup. I don't think there is a backup that can lead you to be undefeated. But if you got a backup that can get you 500, like 5-5, whatever it may be, 2-2, 4-4, whatever the games Cam Ward, hopefully Cam Ward's not out with any games, but it is a long season. It is a sport that you can't predict, that they need to find that quarterback. And boy, Blaine, they say if all the fans, the majority of these fans that got in my mentions, they said if Cam Ward's done, just tank the rest of the season. Who gives a crap about the 52 other players? Who cares about other people's jobs on the lines? Who cares about being competitive? Just tank and get Jamar Chase, whoever the Jamar Chase of next year's draft may be. Just tank. Because that's what the Bengals did and it worked for them. And I find that to be just like, are you guys, I hate to be, because obviously the way I look, I hate to be the guy, have you ever played team sports before? But that's not how team sports work. It does not work and based off of, okay, well, you give up because one player got injured. And that's what it feels like these fans want to happen, is just give up and let's be miserable forever, however many games that Cam Ward may be out. Let's just put Brandon Allen in there and Tim Boyle in there and just call it a season.
Well, that is a form of tanking.
I would be quite honest with you. Yes, it would be.
So that's the legal way to tank. Yeah, so yeah. Now they wouldn't probably be legally trying to take if they signed a veteran who's kind of proven in this league, at least even as a backup now, former starter. So I don't know who that would be. I don't even know the quarterbacks that are available.
It's not a great list. You want to hear them?
That are free agents still.
Yeah, it's like only like 8 or 9 of them apparently.
Oh, I love. All right, watch this. Here's what we should do: a game here. These backups that he names, are they better than Allen?
Or Tim Boyle.
No, Tim Boyle's on the team. I meant the A guys he's about to list.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is Carson Wentz better.
Yes.
I'd say yes.
I say it's an easy clear. And listen, I'm not a Carson Wentz fan, but much like Will Levis, Carson Wentz is clearly better than these guys. So Carson Wentz, C.J. Beathard, who I would say yes.
I would too.
I think, and also just to be a little nugget here for you, C.J. Beathard was one of the first people back in the early 2015, 2017, one of the first rookie quarterbacks to use virtual reality. Bet you didn't know that, but now you do.
What high school did he go to?
I don't remember that.
He's from here. He went to...
was he from here?
Did he go
he's from
to
here.
a private school, Blaine?
Yeah, he went to a private school.
BGA? Or am I wrong? BGA?
There you go. Yeah. Has some ties here. So that's even better. Teddy Bridgewater. I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think he would.
I think he keeps you. Well, he may. I mean, right now, he just got the insane story of him being suspended for just helping by paying for Ubers and paying for meals, even though he's not, I guess, was a part of the high school, technically.
He wasn't an employee. He was just the coach.
And now he's been banned from high school football, which is just utterly ridiculous.
For life?
Well, I think this year, or
I think for a first. Let me look.
Yeah, I think it's just for
that
this
sounds
year.
like a bitter opponent that got beaten. And like, oh, they cheated.
Yeah. So apparently he's been paying for kids that can't get to practice, paying for their Ubers. He's been paying for meals and nutrition plans as a volunteer, but now he's been suspended for it because it's against high school football rules or whatever, which is just crazy to me. Okay, Jeff Driscoll. He's I would say probably not. But I think he's just the same. More of the same. Snoop Huntley, former Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley that you saw in the Miami. I would actually say yes, I think he is better, but I don't know if he really fits this team. If that makes sense. Like he's better, but maybe he does work, maybe he doesn't work in this system.
I'm with you on that.
Logan Woodside. And I would say
he just was released.
He was released
Bengals.
for Desmond Ridder from the Bengals, so he has a little familiarity with the terminology. He knows the area. I would say Logan Woodside is probably better than Brandon Allen, but maybe not by much.
That's a tough call there, man. I like what Logan Woodside when he was here.
I did too. Jake Fromm is the last one on the list.
I've got one more submission.
Oh, what's the other submission?
Zach Lyons.
Oh, I definitely would not be any good.
Yeah, quarterback.
No. I couldn't even see over the offensive line. Yeah, I can't see over the offensive line. And I'm too old now. I mean, I'm beat up. I can't even run if someone was coming after me. Of course, probably 10 years ago.
Neither can Tim Boyle.
Is that position you played?
No. I was cornerback and running back. That's similar to you, actually. Except for
yeah, let's do that comparison.
Except for way worse. Let me just throw that out there. I'm just saying I played both positions, but I was way worse. Way worse.
What grade was this?
9th grade.
Oh, 9th grade. You played cornerback?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't good or anything. I mean, that was about it. After that, I realized I don't think I have the build for football. And I know that there's also Ryan Tannehill's name is floating out there, but that dude hasn't taken a snap, and he's been out fishing in the Bahamas. So who knows what kind of shape he's in.
He almost made $100 million. He's out. Yeah. What about, would you trade? I saw somebody say it on here. I'm
Jameis Winston?
Yes, I would for entertainment purposes, but I would give up a lot.
Yeah.
I'd give up a 5th for Jameis Winston right now.
Yeah, and a 5th? I don't think I would do a 5th. Maybe like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7. But I would definitely, for pure entertainment purposes, I told you as a backup, because they have too many quarterbacks. How many quarterbacks do they have for the Giants?
So they have
Russell Wilson,
Dart, Wilson,
and Winston,
and there's a 4th one too. That's
it is. It's 4 of them.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you have Dart and Russell. Like, where does Winston fit into this whole equation?
And I would
He fits
also
in a
say,
trade to the Titans.
I'd also say Tommy DeVito is better than what you got right now. And that would be fun, too. Think of all the Italian memes.
I want Jameis.
Well, I get that point, but I'm just saying Tommy DeVito's better than what you got.
Than Allen.
And here's the thing, is that like everybody's like, well, the Titans aren't winning the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, no crap. We know that they're not winning the Super Bowl, but they're still trying to win games. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if Cam is in your opinion, Blaine, is Cam Ward going down with injury and the Titans ending up with about, let's say, 5 wins. I don't know when he goes down in injury, but like if the Titans end up with 5 wins and a Cam Ward injury, does Brian Callahan get to keep his job? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. Newsflash, young quarterback gets injured, constant coaching changes for young quarterback coming off an injury. I've seen that story here in Tennessee before, and it did not work out well.
Well, also, it was when he get in. Let's say just the last
true.
2 weeks, and then all of a sudden,
if it's the last 2 weeks and you're only looking at 5 wins, then he's probably getting injured or getting fired.
I think timing's everything. So I mean, just kind of, are they looking hot and everything looks good, middle of the season, and they're in every game? And then he's like, nah, you can't be doing.
And
this.
I think how you lose games matters for this Titans team specifically.
It's just, to me, it's like everybody wants all this chaos, or they just want to go full negative. Well, Cam Ward's gone. Season's over. Screw the 52 other players that are playing on this team. Screw the coaching staff. Screw any kind of fan enjoyment you may have for this year. They're just like, screw everybody. Cam Ward's gone. Tank. Because you may get a Jamar Chase-like player, which we don't know who. I can tell you this much.
You could also get a Corey
Jamar
Davis.
Chase in this draft. Now, is there maybe a Jamar Chase at a different position? I don't know. It's way too early to tell. But you should want your team. I don't care what fan of a team that I root for. I don't care what it is. If I am rooting for a team, I want them every game to be putting out the best players possible every game. That's within their power as a general manager or coaching staff. I hate losing. And you know how you build a winning culture? You win games. Losing games and then trotting out Brandon Allen ain't going to help any kind of culture stuff if you're concerned about that. It's really not, because we saw that Brandon Allen is worse than Mason Rudolph. Y'all really want to go through another year of that again? Because I don't. And I understand that even if you get Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, or this or that, any of these other guys, Jameis Winston, they may only get you 5. They may only get you 1 or 2 more wins, 3 wins. But it's all about going out there and giving your team a chance on Sundays, every Sunday. And doing that with Brandon Allen or Tim Boyle ain't going to cut it for me. That to me is not the best chance, and you're doing disservice to the rest of the guys on the roster. You're doing a disservice to the fans and the media and yourself, to be honest with you. And I'm sorry for Brandon Allen if that got a little too personal. I'm just sorry.
Hence could be the problem, though.
Yeah.
Head coach Callahan believes he is a backup.
Maybe.
Which he hasn't really been a backup until the backup got injured, or the starter got injured, and he was elevated. I mean, so the history tells you here this guy's really a 3.
100%.
So he's thinking that he's a 2. Maybe Levis, that's why he was keeping Levis around. Maybe that's why the organization, did they try to trade Levis, or did they?
Yeah. Because if they didn't, they're telling you they really don't believe in these guys.
Right. And so now that Levis has got injured, you will see how they respond to this, and they're probably hoping in camp those guys, Boyle and Allen, look really good. But, man, I don't know. I would bring somebody with one of those guys on the list, man. If somebody, I don't think I would be trading, but I would definitely bring somebody else in the camp that's got some playing ability, that's played in this league and had success.
Well, what helps Chimere, DK, Elikai, Manor, Gunnar, Helm this future?
Quarterback.
A better quarterback helps them.
Brandon Allen's not going to help those guys get better.
Right.
If something happened to Ward, and you got to think about this now, the odds are Ward may miss a game or 2 just because the nature of the beast of the business of the NFL. Okay, so you think you could just manage through this with guys who haven't had a lot of success in this league and been on rosters but haven't They haven't had that kind of sense. So they don't have that gravitas of confidence that players need, young players that you have around this player. Man, I never agree with this, by the way. I said this about that Brandon Allen. I said, man, I hope I'm wrong.
They may have the knowledge of your system, but where's like you said, where's that confidence, the rallying around? We've seen what these guys are. I mean, Brandon Allen is people forget he was like drafted in like 2016 or 2015. Yeah. He's 2-8 as a starter, and I understand quarterback wins aren't that real of a stat, but he's got a horrible completion percentage, horrible touchdown to interception ratio.
What's hometown C.J. Beathard? What's his record? I know he started a couple games or a couple years for the Jaguars because I would say that's a better option. And he would fit their offense to me because it's a quick passing game. He's not a big armed guy. If you want to still stay young.
He's not much better, but his stats are better.
Right. And that means he's a better player.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
He's 3-10 as a starter. I mean, obviously, he last 2023 and 2020 were the last 3 games that he played. And he was 2-1 as a starter in those 3 games.
That was at the Jaguars?
When he started out at San Francisco in 2017 and 2018, he was 1-4 and 0-5. Uh-huh. But he was still putting up better stats than what Brandon Allen was. And Brandon Allen was on better teams at certain points. And with Jacksonville, his final year at San Francisco, he went 1-1 in 2020. Then 2023, he was 1-0. And to me, I'll take that guy because I know that he can at least put up stats, and maybe this system will be a better fit. He's still a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
But he's played as a 2 most of his career and played in games, entire games. So he used to have more experience and more success, whether you want to look at his totality of his record or not, man. You go watch those games. He kept his teams in the games.
And I still would rather have Carson Wentz than all these guys.
That would be my number one choice of the free agent.
And I get it. I think he's a slightly better version of Will Levis. But again, Will Levis was better than the guys that you had. If they allegedly did not want to trade him, they're telling you Will Levis is better than those 2 guys.
Do you think they tried to trade him?
Well, Buck apparently was saying that they didn't want to trade him.
Right.
So, I mean, if that is the case, for the reports that we heard, they didn't want to trade. They never attempted to trade him. And I think they even said something to that fact that they never, I think there was I think it may have been Albert Breer or something, but they said that Mike Bergonzi or Chad Brink or one of them said in some article, or maybe as a press conference, that they haven't even entertained the idea of trading Will Levis. Which, again, we don't know really what that means, if that's true or not. But if it is true, they're telling you that they do not believe in Brandon Allen. Like, Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle are your quarterback 3, quarterback 4, and now they're going up to quarterback 2. And I will say, I think you did stumble onto something that maybe Brandon Allen is a backup quarterback killer because everybody seems to get injured that's ahead of him when he's on the roster. Like, it's kind of crazy when you start looking at it. But again, it's about what's doing best for your team. It's about what's doing what's right by your players that are putting their body on the line every Sunday. And I just think you as a fan should want better. Draft picks come and go. What if they get number 2 in the draft, right? Let's say they get number 2 because they decided to stick with Brandon Allen. Or what if they draft a player that's a bust? What was the point? You play for the now. You play for the present. And the present right now is telling you these guys aren't good enough. And if Cam Ward goes down, you all might as well pack your bag. I'm assuming. Depends on the situation, but everybody better start packing their bags. Because it's just incredible. It's just incredible. All right. That's just my thoughts on it. We'd love to hear from you. 615-737-1045 is the number. When we come back, is the Big 12 scared of University of Memphis? We'll talk about that. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. worthy in there.
There are a lot of diagnoses out there, and there's a pill for everything. But not all diagnoses are accurate, and not all pills are good for you. Hey, it's Blaine Bishop, and when you get a diagnosis for European Auto Repair, get a second opinion before you make a major decision. And Eurofix is the home for second opinions. So before you spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on a European vehicle repair from a diagnosis, go to Eurofix. It could not only save your vehicle's life, but could actually save you from a lot of stress that could ruin your freaking weekend. And life's too short to get stressed out and angry. So be happy and go to Eurofix. And at Eurofix, you get a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection with an estimate at every visit and not high-pressure sales tactics. Also get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And at Eurofix, you never pay dealer pricing. Family owned for 26 years. Located all over the state, starting in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always tell them Blaine said ya.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We'll be talking Tennessee Titans, and we'll be continue talking about Tennessee Titans. But something was brought to my attention, and I'm a little upset by it, that Brett McMurphy is reporting that the Big 12 is not interested in adding Memphis, despite the school offering $250 million in sponsorship to the league, sources told On 3 Sports. Memphis was trying to buy way into Big 12. Yahoo first reported Memphis trying to get Big 12 invite. Sounds like to me they're just scared. I mean, who turns down $250 million for a program that can provide, with FedEx backing, by the way, could provide $250 million for you, but also they're pretty good at football, pretty good at basketball. Like, they're no slouch in the sports area. I don't understand why everybody's so scared of Memphis.
I see what, because they'd come in and start dominating. They'd be upset about that. I mean, just think about it. They turned down $250 million?
Yeah. $250 million.
That's crazy to me right here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
11-2 last year, by the way. So they're obviously scared.
Oh, no.
They won the Frisco Bowl. They went 10-3 the year prior, won the Liberty Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Then 7-6, 6-6, 8-3, 12-2, but the prior years after that. In fact, they haven't had a losing season since 2013.
No, Memphis football is they have a great program. Even if I was a big school, like I know Tennessee, I think Bananas came here. They're supposed to play Tennessee in 2027.
That's TSU, right?
Oh, no, it was TSU?
Yeah.
TSU.
Oh, I thought he said Memphis as well.
I thought he did too, but I actually just saw his TSU on my timeline.
Well, no, he said TSU first, and then he said they're thinking about trying to play Memphis as well.
Okay.
And I said I would not be trying to do that if I'm Tennessee, because they are kind of the big boy killer. Yeah, they like, they're kind of like when Central Florida was in their prime. But Memphis has been consistent the whole entire time, especially since that coach has been there. What's his name? Satterfield?
Ryan Silverfield.
Silverfield, yeah. Yeah, he's been really good. Yeah.
They're just scared. I mean, people are just scared of
But
Memphis.
I don't know. Sometimes scared, but the money? Oh, the money talks now. That's shocking.
250. Listen, I'm scared of snakes. Or no, spiders. I'm sorry. I'm scared of spiders.
Well, I'm scared of both.
You could put me in a casket for $250 million with some tarantulas. I'd overcome my fear.
Oh.
Could you? You would do it for $250 million to go in with some snakes and coffin?
No.
No?
As long as those snakes aren't venomous.
Yeah, they probably would be venomous, but they still going to be slithering.
How long do you got to be in there?
I don't know. How long do you got $250 million, Grand Poobah? So tell me how much I need to be in there.
No, like how long? Like I'm saying, if I was going to do this,
do it.
Oh, like, I mean, I think that if you were trying to overcome a fear, and you were getting paid $250 million to do it, I think 30 minutes to an hour is appropriate time.
I was thinking a full day.
A full day? Oh, I definitely
$10
could not
million an hour.
Oh, I don't know if I could do a full day. It may be like in a room filled. I don't even know if I could do a room full of spiders for a day.
I don't think I could do that.
I'd be out of there so quick. An hour is pushing it for me. Spiders crawling all over you.
I think if you make it through that first hour, the other 23 would be easier. It would get easier as you go.
I don't know. But regardless,
by hour 23,
$250 million, and you're turning that down?
Grand Poobah, give us a reason why they turned down Memphis. Give us something, make up something why you think they would say no. Why are they saying no?
Nobody wants to go to Memphis, including the Big 12.
But I mean, you're the part of Memphis you're in. It does not affect anything. It's a very nice stadium.
So
really
he's
good
saying they don't want to go to Memphis because it's so bad there.
That's what
Is
he's
that what
saying.
You're saying?
Not bad, but it's just.
What are you saying?
I'd rather come to Nashville. I bet if Vanderbilt offered $250, they would have taken it.
Oh man!
Well, that's because they know they can beat Vanderbilt.
I would like to see Vanderbilt and Memphis play. Vanderbilt would be favored.
Maybe this is business. If they offering $250, we can get $400.
Maybe. Because initially it was reported it was just initially
business.
It was reported it was just $200 million. Right. Now it's being reported that it's $250 million. But either way, I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they're going to say, okay, get a little bit more. Because they are going to have to pay a buyout and everything.
Right.
But to me, I just look at it and I go, the Liberty Bowl is not a dump of Anzies on Twitter.
It is a dump.
It is not a dump. They've redone it. When's the last time you've been to Liberty Bowl?
I've never been, but it's a dump.
I haven't been since they redid it.
How dare you?
No, I haven't been there since they redid it.
Yeah, I saw.
Watch this. Since 1998.
Tiger Lane is nice. I mean, great tailgating spot.
Tiger Lane?
Yeah, Tiger Lane. They got like,
Tiger Lane.
it's really nice out there. Yeah. It's a lot nicer than what people want to give it credit for.
I don't know, man. You're trying real hard to sell it.
Well, I just, it's very special to me.
How often did you go to games?
Oh, I went to games every home game.
And what was the attendance?
Oh, it was actually pretty good. I mean, a little bit trailing at the end of the year, but it was an event. Like we tailgate, we smoke, barbecue and everything. Sorry, I had to clarify.
I almost said
I had to clarify. We smoke barbecue. We smoke meat. We drink. We have all these nice tailgating. We have competitions and everything.
You just told on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I watched a lot of their games because I'm really they have a really good program, as I mentioned, especially in football and being very consistent. I don't see a lot of the fan. I don't see what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know how attendance is now. I could just say I can only speak on when I was there. That's all I can do.
When was the last time you went to a Memphis game?
Ooh, it was Paxton Lynch, I think, was
Were you
playing.
in college?
No. I went back beginning of when me and my wife were dating. Me and Lauren were dating.
Mm-hmm.
I went. I think it was a Paxton Lynch.
That was a while ago.
Who was the guy right after Paxton Lynch? But either way, they beat Ole Miss that game.
Ooh.
So
They were solid.
yeah. I'll have to try to figure out what year that was. But they beat Ole Miss. And again, I'm undefeated in games that I tend to at Liberty Bowl against Ole Miss. So anytime they come to town, I should probably make my way out there.
Good program, man.
There you go. All right, when we come back, we're going to go over back to the Tennessee Titans. Because when I decided I was going to talk about Memphis, I kind of forgot that, hey, L'Jarius Sneed and Lloyd Cushenberry are both expected to be on the PUP list. So we'll talk about that when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, now coming back from vacay, I've got a little extra around the middle. And I've earned it, sure, but still, the dead bod isn't exactly the goal. I don't have time to go to the gym every freaking day, and I want to feel better when I look in the mirror. I want to see just 8 boards, right? But I'm not trying to do anything extreme. That's why I checked out MSculpt Neo at Edge Peptide Therapy. It tones muscle and melts fat. No needles, no downtime. MSculpt Neo is the most advanced body sculpting technology available, merging fat reduction with muscle building in one effortless session. No surgery, no downtime. As I said, just results that speak for themselves. MSculpt Neo is your secret weapon, building muscle and burning fat faster than traditional workouts alone. It's like, you going to work out 3 times a day without breaking a sweat, but you are. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 615-724-1878 and book now. And you get 2 free sessions. It's easy and it works. 724-1878.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And after the Will Levis news broke, we have L'Jarius Sneed. We have Lloyd Cushenberry been reported by A to Z Sports Easton Freeze that they are expected to start this off-season training camp on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, for those that may not know what that means. Now, they can come off of it at any time between now and the roster cut-down day. So they could be on there for a week, be on there for 2 days, they could be on there for 3 weeks. We don't know what their progress is going to look like, but those are
But they cannot practice.
But they cannot practice. They can do everything else, but physically take part in practice, which is a big thing. So I look at it and I go, Blaine, just a few weeks ago, what did we hear from L'Jarius Sneed? We heard this is as healthy as he has ever been. And we both kind of got a little excited. Now, it does not mean that he maybe won't be off PUP here in shortly, but it is not a good sign that he is starting out this way. And I put starting out because if you go read other reports of other teams, it's like, okay, Damarian Overshown for the Dallas Cowboys and a few others started on the PUP, and it was reported that they're all working their way back from injury. And we know that both these players, Lloyd Cushenberry with an Achilles and L'Jarius Sneed with the quad knee thing, whatever's going on over there, we don't have the best of clarity on that situation. But we both know that they are still coming back from injury. They may still be working their way back, and maybe they're following some kind of program. But again, not a great sign for two very important players for both the offense and the defense for these Tennessee Titans.
Well, I think, at least for me, Lloyd Cushenberry, I think is much expected. Wasn't sure what I was going to even hear on Sneed, even after he made those statements. It's a healthy as I've been. I think, that is a normal person, but we're talking about playing in the National Football League. So I think the Titans are taking a cautious approach, but it still sounds a little conflicting on Sneed.
Yeah.
In that he said this is the best he's been. I don't know if he meant more so since the injury or just his entire career. I mean, so that was kind of odd because I got excited like, oh, that means he's going to be practicing, maybe even on a limited basis. So maybe they're going to ease him in. But at some point, I don't like how they said here, and that's why I say conflicting. They said, but he'll be ready for the start of the season. How do you know that if he's not practicing?
Yeah. Well, let's hear the exact wording. What's his exact wording? You got the clip. This is from L'Jarius Sneed himself talking about how healthy he is from a camp that he did.
I'm talking about the Titans Day.
Yeah.
I'm healthy as I've been. Last year, my first year didn't go as planned, but it's time to come out and show the world and show what God's been instilling in me this entire year. I'm ready to get back on the field, and that's my life. That's what I do for a living. And I missed the whole year, and everybody. I have to remind everybody who L'Jarius Sneed is.
I'm healthy as I've been.
So we could take that snippet, but then he just said I was out all last year, so he could be referencing just last year or his entire career, but people are going to just pull that out.
Right.
Like, well, dang, the healthiest you've ever been.
Yeah, because that's what it kind of sounded like the first time we've heard it. And now, and when Jackson was getting the clip and cutting it, I was like, oh, healthy as I've been. Well, that
as
just
I
could be
ever been.
No, it's just as I've been, right? Play the clip again real quick.
Did he say ever?
I'm healthy as I've been,
As I've been. So maybe that's just, and see, that's the thing. I think it was one of those things where I think we all thought we heard it and we all ran with it, but it's just as healthy as I've been. So does that just mean as healthy as he's been with the Tennessee Titans?
Play it again.
I'm healthy as I've been. Last year, my first.
See, that now takes on a whole new meaning of, because we were both the same way. I've heard several other people say it. In fact, I even messaged it this morning to someone. Healthiest as I've ever been. L'Jarius, quote, healthy as I've ever been Sneed. And I'm like, well, that's not what he said.
He says, as I ever been.
As I've been. Isn't that crazy? Said that we all kind of thought that it said
as
ever
I've been.
Yeah.
As I've been.
As I've been. Which kind of maybe.
Is that how you would have phrased that?
I mean, it's the easiest cop-out answer because you can be like, oh, yeah, I'm as healthy as I've been since yesterday.
Right.
Since 2 days ago.
Yeah. So now that kind of makes that a whole new light boat. You were right. Because remember what they said at the owners meeting. Definitely, maybe we'll be ready by training camp.
Right, they never committed. Yeah, but they never committed. That.
So now we've got this, and this is the thing. And I know that Brinker and Bergonzi are going to be up at the podium tomorrow, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of deadpan answers that don't mean anything. But we really need some more clarity on what is going on with this Snead situation. And I'm not even talking about the other Snead situation that is off the field, but we need to know really what's going on because we're just getting these weird answers.
But Callahan kind of put it in perspective. He's like, everything's on track.
Yeah.
He's doing well. I mean, so I'm going to kind of go by that.
Okay.
That they're going to ease him in and see how his body responds, his leg, whatever the issue is. And see if they can then rev it up slowly, maybe on, off a day, and then they start going 2 a day in a row, 2 days in a row.
And maybe that's the plan is like, okay, we haven't seen Snead maybe in like a couple of weeks, right? Because it was a summer break. Don't know how much Snead has been training here or been rehabbing elsewhere. We don't know, but he's been on summer break. Maybe he's starting off at the PUP list as a precautionary reason.
Right, that's what I said.
Right, that's what I'm agreeing with you.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's what you hope because, again, we talked about it on Friday. We've talked about it many times on this show, but me and Stoney talked about it on Friday. Like, the Jenga piece of the defense is L'Jarius Sneed. Like, if he's not available and he's not ready to go or he's rusty, and he already has slow starts to his season. And I would say that he's probably going to see another slow start to this season.
What he had at Kansas City, he did?
Yeah, Kansas City, he actually started off better just statistically here, but a similar target rate and everything to his other Kansas City years. But, I mean, he was a little bit slow start those first 4 weeks. I was just looking at the first 4 weeks.
What makes you say that he started slow other times?
Well, just the amount of yards he had and everything. I mean, it's not really a slow start. It's not a slow start. But, I mean, what I'm saying is that everybody was making a big deal about what they saw on film. And I don't think what they saw, I don't think he was great by any means, but L'Jarius Sneed has been a guy that I've seen play that gets better over time. Now, it's easier for me to communicate that in stats, but I look at it like this, is that, some players kind of start off a little rough here and there, a little rusty. He doesn't play a lot or doesn't practice a lot. But he's probably going to be a little rusty to get comfortable. That's why it's been so important for me that he gets into training camp as soon as possible and practices to get all that rust. You want as much rust off of him as possible because he's also coming off an injury. When you're coming off an injury and rust and all this time that you missed, it's really hard to get back on track right away, back to your form. You have to work your way into it.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't practice, he can't be playing. No, he's not that guy. Not here.
Yeah.
Not yet. He's got to perform first, and then you can kind of go through some not practicing a couple days or so here or there. But no, we got to get him back on track. Like if he doesn't practice, when we go through 2 or 3 weeks of training camp, and I would get really, really nervous. Like, things aren't going as planned.
Yeah, right. And I'm not totally sure of all the PUP list rules, Blaine, and I don't know if that the rules have changed since you've been in here. But I think if you're literally physically unable to perform at practice in a full capacity or even limited capacity, you start off on the PUP list.
Right. You do.
And it doesn't mean, like, again, I've seen players that have been announced on the PUP list, and a couple days later they're back at practice and they're off of it. Mm-hmm. I've seen people that take 3 weeks, it take months. We don't know what it's going to be for Snead, but it's just not over. It's just, I think it's the PUP list is more, I guess, secretarial in how it's done, administrative, like putting a player on the PUP list. Now, some people get put on a different PUP list. That means they're out for the season.
Right.
Levi Onzaraki, who I probably just butchered his last name.
Then there's another one where you all, like, for 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
During the season.
And then there's the IR and all this kind of stuff. The non-football injury PUP list, too. Like, there's all kinds of different lists. And it's really, some of it's more administrative than anything else. But this is not I guess you would say, a promising start to
Well, how
year
would you
two
handle it
Legere.
if you were the Titans?
I mean,
PR-wise.
Yeah,
is what I'm talking about.
PR-wise, I mean, you got to put him on PUP. I guess.
I mean,
They
what I'm
know
talking about
they-
is what do you expect them to say tomorrow?
Oh, well, I just think that everything's on track. You know, we expect him to be ready at the start of the season. I don't know if maybe you do say expect him to, but if you do expect him, then maybe you do say it. But I would just maybe go with what Brian Callahan has already said. He already kind of laid it out, right? Mm-hmm. He's on track. Everything is on track for what we are looking to get out of him based on our rehab plans, his rehab plans, right? Because we don't know.
And neither do
The
they.
ins and outs
But
of
they
the
don't,
rehab
they don't
plan.
know because when you're dealing
Right.
with an injury, you don't know. That thing could just swell up out of nowhere and he comes in there like, I didn't do anything different. Practiced a couple of days, felt great, and then all of a sudden, woo. I mean, that's just the nature of the business.
Right. And it's kind of like the Will Levis thing. Teron Davenport put out an article on ESPN.com while we were doing our show, and he said he started feeling discomfort during training camp or during mini camp and OTAs. Mm-hmm. And again, Legere Sneed has been at all the practices. Now, he has not been practicing per se on the field, but he's been inside the building, so they know more a little bit about his health than we do. Do you shed light on it? I don't know. I mean, selfishly, I would like to know more information about this injury because I feel like we have gotten. What did he say in November? He said something in November like, I'll be back sooner rather than soon, or sooner than soon, or something like that, is what he said, like, sometime back then. Let me, if I can find it, I'll pull it up. But, he said closer than close, because Mike Herndon tweeted out, it's been 250 days since Sneed was closer than close. Now, again, obviously other things can pop up, and something did. I'm just tired of all the misinformation, I guess. I'd just like a little bit of clarity.
Conflict. Yeah, I think they need to give us some clarity here because here's what you're always thinking about as an organization. What can it hurt if you just tell what happened, especially with this organization and the new GM and their whole crew? They have no attachment to him besides that he was at Kansas City. But that you're not responsible for that here. If he gets injured, you say, hey, he's not good enough to go yet. We're going to play it by ear, and we'll see how it goes. Now, what that plan will be, you'll see it when it happens. You'll see it. I mean, to me, I'm like, that's all you can really say. So he's ready to go when he's ready. Yeah. I mean, that's like, what are you going to say? Even if he goes out there and practices or jogs around, I mean, we're going to just ease him into it. That's all you can say. You don't know. He may ease up there and go out there and jog around and do warm-ups and it swells up.
Yeah. They have that mystery side field, right? Where people can train. I don't know if he's been over there or not, but I'm just
saying.
To your point, he could be over there, or he could be weightlifting with his legs, right? And then they see something swell up, or they see something they don't like on x-rays. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know.
Right.
And I do think that we kind of need a little bit of clarity about the messaging about it, because it seems like the messaging is different almost every time. Definitely maybe is not a message. Closer than close back in 250 days ago is not a great message. And especially when you start on PUP. So at some point, just some kind of clarity. Again, they're not going to peel back the curtain completely, but some kind of clarity about what this injury really is, where he's at. Something would help go a long way for Tennessee Titans people and their expectations for Sneed, because right now nobody's stock is lower really than maybe Will Levis than Legere Sneed with this Tennessee Titans fan base. And if you want any kind of semblance of hope or expectations for the Tennessee Titans defense, he has to be around. When we come back, we'll continue talking about Legere Sneed, the Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, now coming back from vacay, I've got a little extra around the middle. And I've earned it, sure, but still, the dead bod isn't exactly the goal. I don't have time to go to the gym every freaking day, and I want to feel better when I look in the mirror. I want to see just 8 boards, right? but I'm not trying to do anything extreme. That's why I checked out MSculpt Neo at Edge Peptide Therapy. It tones muscle and melts fat. No needles, no downtime. MSculpt Neo is the most advanced body sculpting technology available, merging fat reduction with muscle building in one effortless session. No surgery, no downtime. As I said, just results that speak for themselves. MSculpt Neo is your secret weapon, building muscle and burning fat faster than traditional workouts alone. It's like, you going to work out 3 times a day without breaking a sweat, but you are. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 615-724-1878 and book now. And you get 2 free sessions. It's easy and it works. 724-1878.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We're also going to talk about the SEC Media Days order of finish, but Tennessee Titans. We had Jackson Slater on Football and Other F Words this week. We had him on Saturday. And the reason I bring that up is because Lloyd Cushenberry is on the PUP. He has been playing, all the sides and the interior from here through camp and everything. Jackson Slater has. He's been doing a little bit of center, a little bit of left guard, right guard. Obviously, they have Sam Mustipher and Corey Levin as well, and Corey Levin is likely the guy to get the spot. But, with Lloyd Cushenberry coming back from an Achilles injury, again, a lot like Snead, the sooner the better for him as long as he's healthy and can do it, because he's going to have to start putting weight on it, getting pushed while putting weight on that Achilles and everything and all that, because that's pretty big. With the way that you hunch over and bend over and all that stuff and the strain you put on your legs, that's pretty big. And, again, an important piece not only for this offense to function, but also for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I'm going to just say this. I wasn't impressed with Lloyd Cushenberry last season.
It is interesting.
I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
But for a signing of that magnitude, I think he underperformed. There were times he did play well, but I saw more not perform than when he. Yeah, so I wasn't thoroughly impressed with him even before he got injured.
We had Brandon Thorne on, and he is a big offensive line film watcher. And he had, four of the Tennessee Titans made the top 15 at their position, according to his rankings and his film watch. Now, he's a guy, Blaine, because my first question was, because I know he's not big in the analytics community. He doesn't like the analytics. And I asked him if there was any stat, and he basically just blew me up. But he said that based on the film that he watched, he thought Lloyd Cushenberry was still a top 15 center in the NFL. And I was like, because I asked him, I said, people here, I see that you have him in the top 15, but people here, we weren't that impressed with Lloyd Cushenberry. And he didn't really give a good answer that really answered that, but he just said, this is what I saw in film from Lloyd. I think he can get back to where he was. But to get back to where you were, I mean, as far as before signing with the Tennessee Titans, that's not who we've got. Last year, we didn't get Denver Lloyd Cushenberry.
Now we're expecting him to be better, at least me.
Yeah,
better than what he was last year, coming off an Achilles.
Right.
So I'd be cautious, really cautious on the Titans, and I'd go as long as I can with whoever's out there to make sure he's completely healthy. So maybe there were signs, maybe he was having a little tightness or issue with his calf and shin and everything else around the Achilles for that to finally happen. There was times he did show. Worthy of the big contract, but there were more often than not than I wanted to see of not playing up to that. Yeah. And usually when you sign a guy like that to that kind of money, they play like that 80-90% of the time.
And
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
And that's the thing is, you paid a guy of Lloyd Cushenberry who actually had really good stuff on tape over at Denver.
He did.
And he came over here, and whether that may be the adjustment to the coaching style of Bill Callahan or the scheme or something, maybe there was something that he tweaked in camp that eventually led to an Achilles tear. Because that can happen, right? You could tweak something and then you continue to play on it and it makes other things worse. We don't know. No. But at the end of the day, what you put on tape was not what you were the prior year. It was not what you were in Denver. And it wasn't what you were in the last couple of years at Denver. And so at that point, this is kind of brings me to Dan Moore, is we've seen 4 years of Dan Moore. I feel like we kind of know what you're getting with Dan Moore, and you paid him a big contract. And here with Lloyd, we saw what you got with Lloyd, and then you paid him in a big contract, and he didn't live up to it. It's a very precarious situation to me with this center position, but Lloyd Cushenberry, I hope that he comes back and goes to form, but that's really hard to expect, right? Because like you said, we saw what he was last year. Now he's got an Achilles injury he's recovering from on top of that. A lot of these contracts they did last year, Calvin Ridley's the only one that's looking pretty good to me.
Pollard.
Yeah, and Pollard. But maybe that's part of the reason why we have a new GM. But still, you got to work with the pieces that you got. And these are the pieces that you got. L'Jarius Sneed and Lloyd Cushenberry. Neither have lived up to their contract. And I hope that maybe they turn that narrative around on their head.
So this guy said 4 of the 5 had positive grades?
4 of the 5, he said, based on his film watching, he does stuff with Duke Manyweather, who does O-line masterminds. He said 4 of the 5 offensive linemen for the Tennessee Titans, obviously not Dan Moore, are in the top 15 in their position. So Peter Skoronski was the 8th best left guard. Zeitler, I think, was the 7th or 9th best right guard. He expects J.C. Latham to be like the 13th best right tackle and expects.
Well, he's talking about now, but last year, I'm thinking
he's
right tackle.
He's using last year's film, or really everything he has watched throughout these years. Like a lot of J.C. Latham's projections is based off what he saw him do at Alabama.
So Dylan Radins?
Dylan Radins, I don't think was anywhere on the list. Of course, I don't know is he even starting? Where's Seattle? So he may not have made that list.
Who started right guard last year?
Oh, Dylan Radins, but he's not.
He said 4 to 5. I was thinking maybe the left tackle.
This year it was Kevin. He's Kevin Zeitler.
That's really hard to do. I mean, so Moore was in the top 15?
No, he was not. He said that he was about. He started off. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson. But didn't he start off saying he was average to below average? And then he ended up throughout the conversation, maybe he felt that was a little harsh, and then ended up just at, he's probably the 20th best. He's inside the 20th best left tackle.
Top 20.
He said top 20. But he initially said average to below average. I'm pretty sure he initially said that to begin with, which is kind of where I'm at.
Well, okay.
I'm a little bit closer.
What do your analytics numbers say on that?
Oh, he's definitely bottom tier.
Bottom tier. So
bottom tier.
He's like 30?
Oh, probably
out of
32 out of 32, if you want to go that route. 30th out of 32.
Bottom, like he's last.
He's bottom. He's bottom.
Is that bad?
That better
It's
not
pretty
be
bad.
true. That better not be true.
But that's based on the analytiks.
Right. No, I got you. But he's got to be in at 20 something. I mean, early 20. Man, come on. He cannot be last. If not, somebody's going to be in a world of trouble. And I ain't even just talking about the quarterback. I'm talking about somebody over there in the organization. If he plays 32, boy.
Well, that's why Cam Ward better have a healing factor, because if he's the 30, and I don't know if he's going to be, but like, if he's 32. You definitely need a better backup than what you got, right? Like, I mean, like,
I didn't see him last. I saw him more so middle of the road when I watched him, but it was when he played the elite guys that he started having trouble.
Yeah.
The guys who have these 2 or 3 moves when they're in their counter is almost like it's, taking the next step of walking. They just know the counter moves and it's automatic. And those are the guys that really kind of got him. Other than that, I thought he was athletic. Thought he did a good job with his hands.
Yeah.
Flashing, sometimes not. So I thought he was definitely better than anything that Titans
the good
had.
news is that he
was
only
better than
sees
Latham, by
the sack-leading defense in the week 1. He then sees Jared Verse, who was it that just retired? Teron Armstead, who just retired, said, I'd never want to play that guy ever again.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, the Dolphins. But Jared Verse of the Rams.
Right.
And then he's got the Colts, who have DeForest Buckner, but I don't know how much he'll actually see of DeForest Buckner. Maybe Loatu Letu can be something.
Buckner's a D-tackle, right?
Yeah. So he may not line. I don't know how far out they may line him up on the defensive end or anything. Then he plays the Texans with Will Anderson.
Ooh.
Then he plays. I don't think the Cardinals.
What's the guy from Vikings? What's the guy?
Oh yeah.
Hunter. I'm sorry, Daniel Hunter.
Yeah, Daniil Hunter. Mm-hmm. I don't know who the Arizona Cardinals have as an elite pass rusher if they have one. I don't think that Max Crosby comes to town. Then you got the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel is probably going to attack him a lot on that side. Then you got the Colts again. Then the Chargers with John Harbaugh and that defense over there. Then you got Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson again. And not to mention Danico Autry still over there at the Texans as well. Then you got the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Not sure their defensive line, but we're now in week 13. That's a pretty stout little start for Dan Moore.
Yeah, we better hope for average. We better hope. He better be average at least.
I will never be happier to be wrong about a player than I will if we get average play out of Dan
I'm saying
Moore.
he's average, but man.
He's barely in that average.
They better not have to adjust and start chipping and helping with a tight and all of that every game. And if that happens, then that's not a good signing.
It's a stout little schedule he's got ahead of him.
Hey, man, that comes with the territory and the paycheck. Cha-ching. He got a ball. So hopefully he should be hitting his prime, too, at this point in time. So I did say also earlier when we were talking about when they signed him, all the sacks weren't on him. Russell Wilson did hold on to the ball a couple times outside the pocket, and the guy got away from him. So I could say 2 or 3 of those sacks weren't on him.
Yeah.
I definitely could say that. So that would put him at like 10 maybe or 9.
I will say maybe he takes to the coaching of Bill Callahan better than maybe other players have that like last year, like NPF and them. We'll see.
So what is that? We
asked Jackson Slater what Bill Callahan's coaching style is. And it's how do I put it nicely? How would you put it nicely? Tough love? Or the toughest love ever?
Yeah, the toughest love of all time.
Yeah, the toughest love of all time. And he says you got to be, and Jack Slater says you got to be a special kind of person to do it, but you learn so much if you just do your job. Like, he's the guy that wants you to do your job. And if you do not do your job, A, you're going to get fined, he said. They do a little fining system in that position group. But B, he says he's going to let you know. And kind of what we've kind of talked about and heard about is like, if you can't take that kind of criticism, and a lot of players in today's NFL don't mesh well with that coaching style. But Jackson Slater says, I've learned a lot, and I tell you one thing, I'm going to do my best to never make a mistake because I don't want them in my ear. Like, I don't want them on me. But he goes, I love football, so I'm working at my craft every day to try to get better. Like, Jackson Slater went through and talked about, the stuff that he's doing. He's been working with Josh Connerly Jr. over on the West Coast with a offensive line trainer over there. But he says he's a tough coach to be coached by. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely unlike anything he's ever experienced. But he doesn't hate it. At least that's what he says on the podcast. I mean, maybe he does hate it.
Everything he said sounds like he hated it.
Yeah. Well,
besides he said, I don't hate it.
Yeah, well, it's not. I think it's just different than what he's used to. But he says he's learned so much from Bill Callahan. He's just you got to be a special kind of person taken. Jack Slater feels he himself is a special kind of person to be able to take.
So how many of the guys in this generation you think are special kind of people? What does that mean?
Not many.
What does that mean?
I think not many people can take a personality that's going to come. I don't think people understand. I guess because, like, I would look at it this way. I could yell at somebody and get mad at somebody and be fine 5 minutes later and feel like it's water under the bridge. And then I could be yelled at by somebody in that same manner, and 5 minutes later, I feel like it's water under the bridge. I don't think that there's many people in that generation that can do that.
So, with that being said, does O-line coach Callahan understand that? Because then you must then adapt as a coach. Not them adapting to you. You need to adapt to them to get the most out of them. Then it's on you.
I do wonder how much flexibility he has in that regard.
That's what I'm exactly saying. Yeah.
Because I do know that and this has nothing to do with what Jack Slater has said, but I do think that some of the stuff that he hinted at and some of the stuff that we've seen other coaches do or other coaches talk about just in general across the NFL, I do think there is sometimes a lack of adaptability in coaching style. Mm-hmm. And I would say that Bill Callahan, given his generation and longevity, probably there is a little bit of a lack of adaptability. Now, I think he's adapted with the times as far as
technique
and analytics and technique and stuff like that, but maybe not the way that he presents
his style.
That stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just say this. I've talked to people when he was, that was years ago, but when he was interim head coach and coach with the Raiders, and they said he disrespected players all the time.
I don't know if he gets that far here, but
that's who he is.
Right.
That we talking now. Has he adapted and changed? Maybe in his eyes.
Maybe he's softened a little bit.
Has he done it enough?
Who
because
knows?
That's old school thinking yelling is going to get you a response out of a player. Yelling should be only done now as he continues to make repeated mistakes. Everybody out there is trying hard.
Yeah.
So you can't MF everybody.
That's right.
So you can't be just, that's not going to be conducive for this league at this point in time. Or if not, they turn on you. Right.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. And that's the first thing I heard about him when we hired him. And that I asked him and he was like, no, he was like that. Like none of the old linemen liked him.
Yeah.
Like that. And I know like doesn't matter.
We'll see.
But at the same time, that means, dang, man, you're doing it in spite of him just because you don't want him talking to you.
Yeah.
That is not how you coach.
I'll also
Coaching
say
is also teaching.
Yeah.
Now, when I watch him out there at practice, I don't see any of that. I see teaching.
But we don't know what it is like in the film room.
Meetings.
I'm sure he lets you know in the film room for sure.
And that's where people have no idea how these meetings go because, boy, it is not a comforting feeling.
Well, you say that because I did ask. I said, I know you've only been there for a short time, Jackson. But the general consensus from, I would say, a good section of the fan base and a good section of the local media is that Brian Callahan's really a big old softie. And that he's not a really in-your-face kind of guy. He goes, what did he say? He said something really funny. He basically just said they're wrong, and I go, I'll leave it at that. He's like, he said, those people are wrong. They have no clue what they're talking about.
And I laugh, too, because what they go is by the press conference.
Right.
You know what I go by when he went after Levis?
Yeah. Hey, what about when he went after that ref, too? I forgot that he went after that ref and the Mike Brown.
So he definitely he has it in him. So, hey, man, the proof's in the pudding, man. We talking about on game day now. Make a mistake. He said enough of that. And he went at him.
Yep.
And I don't know how many coaches I've ever seen like this. I don't think I saw Jeff Fisher ever do that to his quarterback.
Yeah, I can't really think about that.
Think about that now.
I don't even know if I saw Vrabel do that either.
No, I don't think so. Not on field, on game day.
Yeah.
And game day and then in meeting rooms, going over what happened in a game is two different things.
Right.
And to me, you should kind of let your players be who they are. And when they make a mistake, say, hey, man, we're going to have some conversations about this. Like we've run over this multiple times. But, because you can rattle your quarterback going after him like that. And I get he made multiple mistakes. Here's how you get his attention. Because I'm not going to do that on game day if I'm a coach. Game day is, how to get his attention? Go sit back there with Jackson. Go sit on that bench. That's going to get your attention.
Yeah.
That's how you do it in the National Football League. These are all grown men.
Yeah.
So don't be trying to, break me down like that. So I think I totally disagree with that kind of approach.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll talk about the SEC Media Days and their ranking of Tennessee, which was actually pretty surprising. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We got Grand Poobah Jackson Williams producing
That's his
the show.
favorite song right there.
He loves that song. I was a little disappointed they didn't do the little drive. Normally, him and Ross do the little driving motion on the steering
Ross
wheel.
went back there with him. Yeah. And by the way, we have to. People said they're doing renovations of Memphis Stadium right now, and it's a complete wreck. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying. Did you look?
Well, it may be. I'm
talking about today, not
now.
Yeah.
During the renovation.
Well, I mean, I think last season.
Are they doing another one?
Yeah, they trying to see.
Projected to be on track.
They are. They're undergoing. They're undergoing a major renovation with a total budget of $226.5 million.
Man, so that's $500 million. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. That's $500 million for everybody.
That's like 1/10 of the Titans Stadium.
Yeah.
Cute.
Whoa.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. SEC Media Days is come and gone. Hey, listen, just because they want to renovate doesn't mean anything. Listen, the best thing that the Liberty Bowl ever did.
They got money. That's what this is.
The best thing they ever did was when they put alcohol inside the stadium. When they put alcohol in the stadium. That was great.
No.
I got to do that one time. That was that 2015
that was your last year?
Yeah. The year I graduated, that following football season is the first year they put in alcohol.
I know you went back that next year. Huh?
No, I didn't. I couldn't go. But I went back in 2015 and got to partake, and it was great.
Oh, my.
It was great. All right. The SEC Media Days is come and gone, and of course, everybody in the media usually gets out and vote. They vote for a predicted order of finish. They predict for SEC championship. Just real quick, they predicted the SEC champion was going to be Texas, 96 points for them. Next one was Georgia with 44 points. Alabama with 29 was third. Fourth was LSU with 20. LSU hype train really went hard at SC Media Days week. Everybody's starting to buy into LSU again. South Carolina has 5 votes for SEC championship. Oklahoma with 3. Vandy and Florida with 2 apiece. But then Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Auburn, 1 apiece. Now, I haven't been able to confirm it, but I've heard that maybe Don Davenport was one of the people that voted for Vanderbilt. But I can't say.
Oh, does she have a vote?
I think she does. But I don't know. But I just found it weird. Tennessee is also expected to finish 9th in the SEC. That seems about right. But I kind of feel for whatever reason, everybody talks about dark horses coming out of the SEC Media Days. A lot of people talk about Oklahoma could be a dark horse. I heard Don try to say Auburn could be a dark horse. And then I'm kind of thinking,
surprise,
man, has Tennessee gone from college football playoff team to dark horse in the SEC? Because now I kind of think that Tennessee's going to be pretty good. Because SEC Media Day rankings very rarely turn out the way that they're supposed to turn out.
Go Vols.
Yeah, I would say maybe the media in this voting overreacting to Nico leaving and not really knowing the unknown of maybe it could be a good thing for Tennessee, and they have somewhat of a weak schedule. I think they only played 4 teams that maybe have a winning record from last year. I may be wrong.
I believe
their record, their scheduling isn't.
It's favorable. Tough. Yeah, it's favorable. You have the hard games against Georgia. Alabama is Florida, I think, is going to be a much improved team from last year.
Yeah, Florida and South Carolina, they definitely liked in the voting.
Yeah.
So that Florida game at the end of the season is going to be a big game for both teams. So I'm fine with them being ranked right in the middle of the pack because of the quarterback situation. But I think that's just because, if the quarterback hits, they could go up to, 3rd or 4th in the SEC. If the quarterback's a bust, they could be down 12th, 13th, 14th in the SEC. I think 9th was just the safest spot to put Tennessee for a lot of people.
I'm kind of with you, Blaine, though, that I do think there is a little bit of Nico bias, I guess, or Nico revisionist history.
Because that's what's going on.
Nico was fine for you guys last year.
He was an average SEC starting quarterback
but he wasn't
season.
like
he
the guy.
He
wasn't the prince who was promised.
No, definitely not. And that's why
that's what my mom always said.
The prince who was promised.
Right. He switched it up. Yeah, and that's why I say when they made the mistake, they should have just let him walk. He wasn't like the difference maker. Like, he wasn't special.
And I understand a player can obviously get better, but last year, I mean, if you're trying to say that the loss of Nico, and listen, I do think there is a dip from Nico to Joey Aguilar, but we saw that this team last year, this Tennessee team, they ran the ball really well.
They
22
ran the ball
touchdowns from Dylan Sampson.
And a top defense, by the way.
And they still got a good defense this year.
Yep,
I think the offense will hurt a lot more in the losses of Cooper Mays and Dylan Sampson than they will the freshman iteration of Nico Iamaleava.
And I would agree. I can't believe I'm sitting here trying to say that I think Tennessee's going to be better than what they were. But I do think that there is a little bit of SEC media bias here where they think that Nico was something that he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I think there's a good chance that the production levels between freshman Nico and fifth-year senior Joey Aguilar or Merkslinger is very comparable.
I mean, because if I was reading an article this morning from a NFL draft prospect or draft analyst, and he does this thing called weighted on target percentage, which is basically his own. He goes in and charts every pass on every film and figures out whether it was really a truly inaccurate pass. And he said that Nico was a below average quarterback in that metric last year. And to be honest, that's something that we kind of talked about was it didn't really seem like he was on the same page with everybody. It seemed like there were a lot of missed opportunities left on the field. And to be honest, 2,616 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. You can probably get that stat line from these guys. And I think that Jackson is right. The Grand Poobah is right. Is that it's probably the Mays, maybe the little bit of the receivers, and Dylan Sampson's going to be a bigger blow than the quarterback. I'm just like, okay, that wasn't that great of a year from Nico.
Your hope was that Nico would elevate in his redshirt sophomore season and give you similar results that you got with the better pieces around him, because I don't think Joey Aguilar has better pieces around him than Nico had last year.
Yeah.
In some spots. At running back, obviously, at losing Brew McCoy, a target Nico went to a lot. Squirrel White, you lose guys like that. Mike Matthews is up and coming, but he hasn't proven anything at the college level yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how this supporting cast and Joey Aguilar mesh.
And I don't know if you...
Merklinger.
Yeah, or Merklinger. I don't know if you heard Miles Kitselman talk because you're on vacation, so I would not be listening to anything other than the sound of the waves and stuff. But he pretty much alluded to the fact that they didn't have a guy on the sidelines, including himself, no guy on offense on the sidelines that got everybody up, that got everybody, when they made a mistake, got that motivation, right? Like Steve McNair come to the sideline saying, I got you. They didn't have that guy. They didn't have a player that was that kind of raw leader on the sidelines. Yeah. And so maybe he says Joey Aguilar is that guy.
Well, the way he plays seems like that's his style.
So maybe
I can see
that makes up for a skill difference. We will see. Maybe. But I'm kind of on board with Tennessee being considered a dark horse, and maybe that's what they like too. We'll see. That will do it for us. Training camp starts tomorrow. We'll hear from Chad Brinker and Mike Bergonzi at noon, and we'll react to that here at 1 p.m. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. The HL's back next, and then, of course, Blaine Bishop is back, and in the meantime.
In between time.
Peace.